Good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Beers. Take 3. Wow, this is crazy. The first take that we did of this, which is really not that uncommon, I guess, to do multiple takes, but 3 takes. The first take, we were making fun of people who had no technical proficiency, and then we foolishly filled the camera up and didn't realize that you have to take stuff off the camera because then you can't film, and so that was gone.
Yeah.
The second episode, Victor disrupted because the paper girl was delivering the newspaper, and here we are for take 3.
Let's get this done quick.
So let's dive in before somebody else interrupts us. Okay, beer. We have much discussion about this. Our favorite styles are farmhouse styles. We can agree on that. Farmhouse styles are our favorite. One of my favorite styles is saisons. Love saisons. It's very open to interpretation. Saison means seasons. French farmhouse style, very refreshing. Saison, typically, it's very open to interpretation now, and you're seeing huge ranges of them. But typically, it would be a beer that would be drunk in the summer on the farm, and so it would be super refreshing and low alcohol. It would be the refresher for the workers. Okay, Tracy said Sour Browns is her style. So, top 5 beers for me. Changes, I guess, quite a bit. Sometimes I'd probably have to do more.
Until the better one that you like comes along.
Yeah, well, I'd have to do more thinking than my extremely sleep-deprived brain could allow. But there's 2 that I can always think of. And one is Orval, a Trappist beer. Wonderful, wonderful beer. One of the Trappist breweries. And 2 would be Saison DuPont. It is the finest example of the Saison style. Love it. Okay, so when we saw this beer, we were pretty excited about it. This is, and I think we bought this at Merchants Fine Wine in Dearborn, probably pretty widely available, I would think. It's Saison DuPont, but it's Vale Provision and Cuvée Dry Hopping 2013. That's what it says on the bottle. Now, this is where the whole discussion started in the first episode, is we tried to look this up on the internet, could not find anything about it. Their website was in French, so that didn't help us. Any other thing on the internet, other people didn't seem to really know what it was or explain what it was. I think what it was is most, these review sites, it's kind of like this Yelp, also known as the complaining website. People don't know anything and they just put stuff on there.
Did the camera make a noise?
That kind of thing. So, what it is, there's a very nice explanation on the bottle here, is the master brewer at DuPont does a dry hop version of Saison DuPont, and he tries out new hop varieties, essentially. So this year's dry hop is Triskel from the Alsace region of France, which is a hop growing region, and it's Triskel is the name of the hop. It's bred from French Striespult, which is a nice French aroma hop. I've used that before myself. And English Yeoman hops, which I've never heard of. And the brewer describes it as combining aromatic notes, mainly floral, of Striespult with the fruity character of Yeoman. Quite unusual and interesting. And also unusual is the name Triskel, apparently inspired by Triskelion, the symbol of the Gauls, and representing the 3 elements, earth, air, and water. So there you have it. Big description. 6.5%, so like I said, not that high alcohol, should be fairly easy drinking. And we've had this, but for the sake of doing take number 3, we'll do it again. Looks just like Saison DuPont. It's that bronze color, hazy, nice, lasting, frothy head on there. Fruity aroma. I get notes of apple in there. Very dry, very dry. Just like Saison DuPont, it's dry. That's what makes it so refreshing. Is it's dry. It's fruity. Like I said, I get notes of apple. There's a teeny bit of bubble gum, a little bit of banana in there, but yet not sweet at all. Very dry. I'd have to have them side by side to say what the difference between this is and regular Saison DuPont. But this is very good, and it was only $12, I think, for this bottle.
Yeah.
$12 for that bottle. I don't think that's bad at all. I highly recommend finding this beer. Very good, very refreshing. The classic summer beer. Summer is untechnically over.
Well, not until the 23rd.
Not completely over. But, it's after Labor Day, they say it's over. But the weather is still very nice. It's been hot out. warm for not super hot. 80s. Good for you're still cutting the grass. You still need a beer for cutting the grass and working in the yard. Let's put it that way. So, what we were talking about is the internet thing. We tried looking this up on the internet, and what we found on the internet was their website was in French. Don't know that much French. Took French in high school. Don't know that much. I know how to say that you pooped your pants in French, but no, I don't know a lot.
I know more than that.
We couldn't read the website. Let's put it that way. It's an international beer. They should have a better website. Other things on the internet were more like the classic kind of the reviewing websites. There's a million of them out there, Yelp and so on and so forth. Whereas people that really don't know, just putting stuff out there, so it really wasn't informative by any stretch of the imagination. Which then led to the wider discussion, the debate about the internet in general. One, businesses that don't really have a very good internet presence, which how could you be in business and not have a wide internet presence, including a website, a Facebook page? That's as a very minimum. And if you want to really be up to date, which is so hard to do, because I have so many hats that I wear at the brewery, and it just I'm completely overwhelmed with the whole marketing thing because, we maintain a Facebook page, a website, a Twitter page, and a YouTube, and there's more than that. We should be on Instagram, and there's a couple of other ones that we should be on. So. But the minimum would be a website and a Facebook. That should be the minimum. And it is amazing how many businesses, especially breweries are cutting edge, especially craft brewers. Craft brewers are cutting edge. They are hip and cool, and it is amazing how many of them.
Some of them are hip and cool.
Well, they're supposed to. They're supposed to be hip and cool, and it is amazing how many craft breweries do not have good websites, Facebook pages. Communication. They're not communication. Because if I am looking on a craft brewery, this is what I want to know. I want to be able to go on a website and I want to know the hours. I want to know their location. I want to know what beer and what food they have if they serve food. Okay, that's the minimum. And it is amazing how many of those breweries do not have that on there as a minimum. Which, I always think it's funny when people call Fort Street Brewery and they say, what are your hours? What do you have on tap? What do you have for food? It's annoying because you get that 10 times a day. It's like, why do people even use telephones nowadays? When that same phone, there. Because the average person, that same phone that they're calling on, they could just look and see the hours and the beer in theory. But like I said, other breweries don't have information on the website, so they probably think, well, I'm going to call because they probably don't. I'm not even going to look to see if they have a website because.
Well, how did they find the phone number?
Well, apparently they still have information. The old school.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say the only way I find phone numbers is online.
Which they call 411. Which I remember back in the old days, it was 635-1212. That was the information. That was the information number.
Weather and information.
At least for the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was in Youngstown.
I don't know.
You don't remember?
No.
You don't remember? It was 1212. I remember that.
I don't remember.
Back in the old rotary dial telephones.
Possible.
The old rotary dial telephones. That was the number for information. So I guess it's so weird that there's that segment of population that essentially lives in the virtual world. There is people that have no idea anything that's going on in the world if it's not on Facebook, or they see it in a text. And then there's a certain segment of population that they don't get that part. Okay, look at the extremes of that. My mom, in her mid-70s, she's watching this show right now. She texts, okay? But if you said, Mom, if you're planning this trip to Timbuktu, just look up some information on the internet. No idea how to do that. No idea how to do it. Doesn't even know what Facebook is. And
personally, I think I don't go on Facebook. I hate Facebook.
There's another segment of the population that when we're talking about the war in Syria, which my mom knows well about because she watches it on TV and she reads the newspaper, there's another segment of the population that has no idea that we're about to start World War III over this whole Syria debacle because they can't be friends with Syria on Facebook. So it's amazing
they don't
that
want to be friends with Syria.
is an amazing extreme, though. That there's people, and really, it's not. I could say that the person over here that not friends with Siri on Facebook is 20, and my mom's mid-70s. But there's people.
Doug, your hand's in my face.
But there's people in that same in that there's a 20-year-old that doesn't know anything about the war in Syria because he's not friends with Syria on Facebook.
But they know about John's girlfriend's sister's friends.
But there's another 20-year-old that he knows everything about it because he knows other ways to find it other than Facebook. So it's amazing, that huge disconnect of people, and it's all revolves around the internet and the virtual world. Amazing. So we could go on forever about that, but we want to finish these beers. Got to have some breakfast because as refreshing as this beer is, we are starving and got to get to work. A lot of things going on. 3 beers coming out this Thursday, including that wonderful historic Saudi beer that Mike O'Brien brewed at Bruja. We're tapping that this Thursday at 4th Street Brewery. And also getting ready for Harvest Festival, first week of October, Halloween, the Fall Festival for the Michigan Brewers Guild downtown. Lots of things going on. We got a lot going on. So I got to get off to work. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Have a great week. We'll see you at 4th Street Brewery Thursday, if not before.
Bye. I have a bad feeling about this.